Hello everyone, Cliff here in the shed. I've come to the conclusion it's time I stop faffing about making prototypes, because I think now I'm just procrastinating because I'm a bit scared of buggering up the good leather I've got. So I think it's time to grab the dog by the bollocks and try and make something worthwhile. Some of this good leather I've bought. So I think I've just got to do it. So I'm going to make something out of this rather expensive bit of English bridle leather. To start with, the bit of leather I need is 160 by 435, I think. So right from this corner here, that'd be plenty. Now I just want 160 from there. I'll do that 165, give yourself a bit of room. I'll whack that straight off there, I think. Okie dokie. We've cut a bit at last. A big scratch in there. There's some dips there. Hopefully that scratch will polish out a bit. Alright. You can cut straight bit off of here about 165. I'll be a bit more careful this time because that moved as I was cutting that. Right, I'll use this as a straight line to cut a square edge on that. Just going to check my measurements. This is the pattern I made. It's a bit too flimsy to draw around. Need to make a pattern out of something a bit sturdier than this if I'm going to make more than one of these. Anyway, that's the size of it. This is far too wobbly. so that was the pattern. I'm going to make this one, cut this 160 now. Now I can't remember which was the straight edge. I'm pretty sure it was this one. Pretty straight. Yeah. These squares on this cutting mat are 20mm. I think they're 20mm anyway. Yeah, 20. So I should be able to use that to cut these off. Right, so that's the basis for it. Now we'll cut the slots out to fold it over, and I'll explain what I'm doing as I do it. So these bits I've just been marking up are where it folds over and the pencil goes in. And I've got to cut them out. So that's what we've got cut out so far. This folds over here, gets stitched up down there, and likewise there, and then it all folds together like that. But that'll all become apparent as we carry on with it. So the next thing I want to do is cut the slot where the credit card or membership card can go in this side of it when it's folded over. I need 3mm hole punch. Maybe it's 2.5. 2.5 to do. I've got these little holes. Marked on this pattern, so I'll use that just to bump these in. Bash these out on this thing. slot on them. Make sure the card will fit in there. Yep. Alright, now before I actually glue this together and sew it together, I need to put something in here so that the card's got somewhere to go. So I'm going to cut a little bit of the pig skin and glue that in there. So I'm just skiving the edge of this pig skin just to try and get it almost to a point so that this will be on the side where the actual scorecard goes in, so it don't impede the scorecard too much. So there's my little bit of masking paper on there, what I'm going to use when I put the glue on here. I'm just going to put a bit of pigskin on there and mark it just so I know where to stop. Up here. I saw a tip about putting your Evo stick in a plastic bag because the lid keeps trying to pop off. And then it'll go off. This can be a bit tricky. I think the art is to not have too much on your little paddle to start with. Shaved edge wants to go on this side because that's what's going to fold over, and just to stop the card rolling about all over the shop. And the next thing, I'm just going to fold that over, mark there and there because I've got to put a bit of a glue lining round both of these to stick them. And the same with this side. Now I've got to pop a glue line all around the edge of this. I'm just going to put a bit of weight on top of that for a bit and let that go off. Go and have a cup of tea and then come back and carry on. Right, so that should be nice and dry now. There's a nuisance, that little scratching that. Right, so now I'm going to trim up the edges just to get them all perfectly flat. So I'm just going to drop my knife. That's it, that's all pretty square. Alright, so now I've just got to mark out for the stitching. Set my dividers to about 3mm. I only want to come down to where it's doubled there, so I just use this as a guide. I don't go right to the end because I'm going to put a little curve on the end when I get it finished. And I've got these little radiuses that I've had in my engineering toolbox, and I can put them on there. Get a little line to guide me in the stitching line. And this is a tricky bit. I've got this little tool here that cuts a little groove into the leather. I haven't found a really good way of getting this perfectly straight. I think freehand is better option. I've got a little bit wobbly, but I don't think it will show up too much when I've stitched it. Still not something I'm very good at, but right, so now I've got to get me pricking irons and prick out for the stitching. So basically they're just bashing it down. All the way around. Right, time to stitch it.